Hey guys, it's gonna be a little bit of a warning video almost. What I got here is my R3 single speed transmission. At first I was a really big fan of the cast aluminum, but growing a little bit weary of it. So I got my grease in here, and when I tore it apart and put it back together, I must have torqued it in the wrong configuration because now this plate is warped, which is a huge bummer. Initially I thought that the bearing up here was sticking out too far, so I measured it. I was gonna see if I could get a lower profile bearing, but after watching it when it's butted up against the transmission, let's see here. If I put it in here, there's actually a little bit of play. It's not a lot, but enough. So that kind of sucks. So I'm going to end up doing here is Loctiting the bottom two all the way to tension, and then the top two I'm going to leave like a half a turn loose, but then just Loctite the crap out of them so then they hopefully won't go anywhere. Also, these grease guns for like the low profile grease zerks, for things like I got these for my U-joints. Really good for packing these transmissions with just a little bit of grease. I use Red and Tacky in this because it's all metal, but if you're going to use Red and Tacky, it is not good for plastic. I've noticed that it'll stain or degrade plastic, and you don't really want that. But you can see there's plenty of stickiness in there. It's really butter smooth as it sits. So I'm going to try and put this back together now. Little pin in there, and I'm putting it together this way because I don't want to take all this apart because I'm lazy. Let's see here. Start that off. Little plate here. Upper. Have to line up that pin once it gets in there. There we go. Fat washer, spring, small washer, and nylock. Just get that on there like that for now. Set that aside on the bottom so nothing drops out. Grab your Loctite. No, I don't have a preference for Loctite. I have Loctite and Thread Lock from Permatics. I don't know. I got 2 of these in the box from my Marlin. So I'm just going to take some of this. Oh, the application's kind of difficult. It's either not enough or way too much. I tend to just thread lock the crap out of it because these screws aren't really, they're not super small, they're not super poor quality. Just like that. Start with the bottoms. Get it started. Come on, there we go. Now for the super long ones, which I noticed that a lot of the binding is coming from up top. Gets a lot of that, get that dirt off the screw. Then I'm just gonna soak it in Loctite because I don't really want this coming apart while it's in the truck. Oh, now you're magnetic? It's just a rule of thumb for these TF2s that if it's going into metal, you're going to want to put Loctite on it. If it's just only metal threads, no nylock, no nothing, I always put them in like this. Now, as you can see, with just the bottom tightened down, let me get this real quick. Yeah, it's a little tight. So, with just the bottoms tightened down, it's still fairly smooth. There's obvious resistance from the grease, but it's not as tight. But if I tighten down the uppers, just snug. Especially this one, I can feel the tension of the back plate flexing. That's tight. That's not good. It's not, I don't like that. So I'm going to back these off. I might even just take like a piece of tape or something and put it over here so that if it does start to back out, it won't just fall out. Even just that little bit, it's already, there's still a little bit of binding, but nowhere near as much. Just like that, the binding is almost gone. So I'll leave these bottoms like that, and then I think I'm just going to take like a piece of electrical tape or something. I got a better idea. Where's my permanent marker? Do what machinists do. You mark it. Just like that. I'll just put one on there. So you can tell if they're starting to back out. But now, since these trucks are already geared so high, I want the entire drivetrain to be as smooth as possible. Otherwise, any resistance on this transmission or in the entire drivetrain is just more power loss you're going to get. But that's just my short, warning video for this, because, I don't know. I was messing with it for a while and I couldn't figure it out, and I'm 90% sure that that's the problem. If you guys have any questions or anything like inquiries, I can try and give you the best answer that I can. I'm not a professional, I'm just a hobbyist. But yeah, that's about all I got for you guys. See you in the next one.